They pretty much won the game on the spot with that Drift Blimp Terra. I don't know why they're wasting time now. They should just end this. Feels a little bit BM. They're showing off that they have agility on their Magirna too. Alright, that's a new one. I didn't know it got that. Alright folks, this time we're bringing out the big guns. Delphox is, as I mentioned, my favorite of the Kalos starter trio. I've never been a big fan of Chestnut and Greninja, except perhaps with the reveal of Mega Chestnut recently. I'm not a huge Delphox fan either, but it is in my mind the best of the three. And Mega Delphox is just an excellent Mega design. I'm very happy with that one. I probably will. I mean, again, probably won't be able to Mega Evolve it in a playthrough, right, based on what's been announced so far, but I might have to train a Delphox for my team and see what I can do with that. But for now, once again, it is time to see what it can do on the ladder, and Delphox also, on top of being the best design of the three, has had the most presence in the Regulation H metagame out of the three Kalos starters. It's not like a top threat, but it definitely shows up and makes some noise here and there. So for the Reg H portion of this video, I actually have just taken the highest placing Delphox team from the Frankfurt Regional Championship that happened recently. This one made day 2 with Life Orb. Oh, Fighting Terrablast. I hadn't actually looked closely at the sets until now. Life Orb, Expanding Force, Delphox in a Size Spam mode with Male Indeedee. Focus Sash, Male Indeedee, pretty strong in this format because it hits reasonably hard for a Reg H Pokemon. Gives you some terrain control, and again, it also enables not just the Delphox, which has a stronger and faster Expanding Force, but also the Psychic Seed Sneasler, giving it a quick, easy way to activate Unburden and go crazy with Dire Claw, Close Combat, and in this case, Throat Chop. Couple of interesting Terrablasts here. The Indeedee has Ground Terrablast available to it. It, of course, also benefits from Terrablast being a special normal type attack before you Terrastallize. So already one of its better stab moves before Terra, but you also have the ground coverage option. This one also carrying Trick Room and Imprison to shut down opposing Trick Room modes, which makes sense because this is a pretty fast offensive team for the most part. And again, Delphox having that Fighting Terrablast that notably flips the script on Incineroar. That's going to be really fun if we get a situation to pull that off. I hope we do. Then there's Choice Scarf Annihilate. It's Assault Vest Annihilate. This seems to be a pretty common Annihilate set these days. I'm not very closely watching Reg H. I mean, I've paid attention to the recent tournaments to an extent, but I'm not actively playing it myself except for the occasional video. But it seems like a lot of Annihilate right now are running Assault Vest and Final Gambit, and they're not Choice Scarf fast, but they're still pretty fast, so I've put heavy speed investment into this Annihilate for the video. I can click that Final Gambit to remove a threat immediately, or at least do a lot of damage to it, or I can throw off strong attacks with that wonderful fighting and ghost coverage. We've got a pretty typical Scale Shot, Tailwind, Haze, Dragonite here, and then we get to Unlace the Mice, because this team does have Technician Mousehold throwing off those powerful population bombs. Like I said, strong offensive team all around. Made day 2 in Frankfurt, highest placing Delphox. Let's do some Size Spam. Here we have Blood Moon or Ursaluna with Goldango and Dragonite, so Doug, plus Rillaboom, Annihilate, and they have their own Mousehold. Okay, so Rillaboom obviously can change the terrain on me. Also, Size Spam isn't amazing into the Doug trio, is it? It's kind of, well, I mean, Blood Moon or Ursaluna is, if it's not running an Assault Vest, it's kind of weak on the special defense side of things. And then, of course, Goldango is afraid of the Fire Stab. Heat Wave. Dragonite's a little bit tricky with multi-scale, but that's the case for everything that tries to deal with the Dragonite. I think I like Annihilate here because they can't fake it out. It has immediate threat potential into Ursaluna and Goldango. Goldango less because Rage Fist starts off not very strong. But yeah, immunity to Population Bomb is also nice, and the matchup into their own Annihilate. I think I will need Annihilate. There's no beat up on this Mousehold to get Rage Fist stacks. Dragonite has pretty good neutral coverage into a lot of their team. I just don't want to be too weak to go Goldango in the lead position, so I actually think I might lead Delphox and bring in DD and Dragonite in the back. I don't know what the right modes are with this team, but we'll try that. They go Mousehold Dragonite, okay. I don't hate the idea of just throwing a close combat into the mice immediately. They could Terrasilize, but if it works, it puts me way ahead. And I'll swap in DD in here. I don't want to let Delphox take a population bomb. I don't especially want to let anyone else take a population bomb either. And DD might not be a great sack because they can change the terrain if they have Rillaboom in the back, but I really don't want to let one of my stronger Pokemon take this. Actually, let's just protect Delphox this turn. It occurs to me that I don't have to sit here and take an attack. Okay, what's Dragonite going for? Scale Shot into Delphox, okay. Would have been pretty cool if it had Scale Shot Annihilate. I could start throwing around boosted Rage Fist, not into Mousehold, but into their other Pokemon. They don't seem like they want to let me just knock out the Mousehold. I don't think I click Close Combat into it again here. I think I could Terrasilize. Or could switch out. I'm just gonna double the Dragonite slot, I think. Terra Ghost on the Mousehold, and they follow me. Expanding Force does some pretty good damage, even without terrain, but Rage... Oh, I clicked Rage Fist, that's right. That's why that KO's Mousehold. I clicked Rage Fist into Dragonite. I don't get to break the multi-scale, but I do get to knock out the mice still. Dragonite only gets 4 hits with the Scale Shot, missing the KO on Delphox, but Delphox is definitely not in a great position here. Annihilate is not in an amazing position either, because it still hasn't taken any hits. I don't know my relative HP values. Can I just Final Gambit this Dragonite out of here? I think I do kind of like that because I'm ahead in Pokemon count. Doing a lot of damage to Dragonite even if it doesn't KO is valuable. I can get my Dragonite in a reasonable position, especially since I still have the Terra Fairy available on it. I think we will take that and protect Delphox again. They protect Annihilate. What does Dragonite do? Scale Shot into Delphox. Nice. So this is a full power Final Gambit. It does KO. Now I get Dragonite in. I think I'm still looking for Expanding Force into the Annihilate, right? But they go Rillaboom here. This is their last Pokemon. They can't switch it out. So switching in Indeedee now gives me terrain control for the rest of the game. And I think I will just... I do have multi-scale on this Dragonite, so they can fake it out. But they might not know that. Oh, I can't think... Oh yeah, they can fake it out after terrain goes up because it's a flying type, so fake out will still work. But they don't do that. They high horsepower the Delphox slot, hitting Indeedee instead. I think they know that they have to beat Delphox for their Annihilate to win the game. Get good damage on Rillaboom there. Dragonite gets a speed boost. It's a pretty free Scale Shot. Follow-up Scale Shot into their Rillaboom, and then I was going to click Expanding Force with Indeedee, but no need as they forfeit. So Delphox didn't get to do a lot in that game. It spent a lot of time just protecting and then switched out, but I mean, it got some good damage into Mousehold, right? It participated in that KO, and the threat of it in the end game was pretty well the reason they forfeited. So that's a pretty good Delphox game. Garchomp, Gardevoir, Tyranitar, Indeedee, Gliscor, and Gastrodon. This is a take on Reg H Sand that I don't think I've seen before. It's nice that there's no Excadrill, I guess, but Garchomp and Tyranitar is a threatening duo for sure. It's probably Terra Flying Tyranitar, so that Garchomp can click Earthquake next to it. With that in mind, my two fighting types are not necessarily that threatening into it. I believe Rough Skin does work on Population Bomb, right? So I don't want to click Population Bomb into Garchomp, potentially or actually. You know, I don't want to click into a slot where Garchomp might switch in either, is what I mean. I think Dragonite is good here. I think Dragonite is okay here. I could do Indeedee, Sneasler. I don't know that I believe in Indeedee in this matchup. I don't really think I believe in Delphox in this matchup either, unfortunately. They have so many threats to it. That Expanding Force would hit super hard, though, into everything except Tyranitar, basically. And if Tyranitar Terrastalizes, it too. I think I'm going to go Dragonite, Sneasler, Annihilate, and I'll bring Mousehold. We'll leave Delphox behind for this one. Tyranitar is just such a massive threat into any kind of Delphox game plan. Okay, so presumably Terra Flying Tyranitar here. I can Scale Shoot Garchomp. I'll just click Dire Claw onto Tyranitar and see what happens. Welcome to Sneasler gameplay, I guess. Yeah, there's the Flying Terra. Okay, Garchomp protects. No status. Icy Wind Tyranitar. That's the second time I've run into that recently. Maybe it's a thing now. I genuinely don't know. It doesn't really feel that valuable. Tyranitar, you know, you can easily run Rock Slide, Knock Off, Low Kick, Terra Blast. That's the set I'm used to, and you're going to get situations where all of them are valuable. But alright, if that's how we're doing this, then thinking about whether I want to Terra Fairy Dragonite. I think I'm going to go for Tailwind. I think I'm not going to Terra. I'm worried about like a Dragon Claw from Garchomp, but actually I will Terra Fairy, Tailwind, and switch to Annihilate. I'm also covering for the Icy Wind there. Because actually I realize Icy Wind will do a bunch more to Dragon... Oh, okay, they got me with the Earthquake. I realize Icy Wind will do a bunch more to Dragonite. Now that Multiscale is broken. Okay, not a great turn. They knock out... I get the Tailwind up, but they knock out Dragonite, which is not a bad exchange for them. The good news is with Garchomp being on the field right now, I can safely click Population Bomb into Tyranitar because Garchomp can't switch into that slot. Do I have Final Gambit Garchomp? It's scary when I'm behind in the Pokemon count, but Garchomp is putting out a lot of damage, and yeah, I think I just have to count on Mousehold and Sneasler to win this. I mean... Oh, I forgot Annihilape's at low HP. Okay. That was silly. This isn't full HP Final Gambit. That actually did very little. I don't think the Earthquake crit is all that important. I think I threw by clicking... Although... What else was I going to do, right? Boosted Rage Fist. Wouldn't bet that KO'd either. Alright, Sneasler doesn't really have anything going for it here. This is just... I don't know if I threw or not with that Final Gambit, because I'm not sure Annihilate had anything that was good enough to save this position. But yeah, this matchup went poorly for sure. I get the para on Garchomp and then drop to high horsepower. Okay, on to the next one. Get Delphox into a game again. Maybe that's the problem, that I didn't bring Delphox. Actually, once Tyranitar terrestrialized, Delphox was probably one of the better threats I could have brought. Oh man, this team. Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Mousehold, Annihilate, Whimsicott, Typhlosion. So they have big Tailwind damage, or they have hard to break Dondozo. I think I do want Delphox and Indeedee for this one, because terrain boosted Expanding Force is one of the best things I have for Dondozo. Dire Claw is probably decent for Dondozo as well. I could lead Sneasler and Indeedee here. I think that's good actually, because I can threaten Typhlosion even if they set Tailwind, right? Depending on the... I don't know. Typhlosion's not that fast. I do kind of want Dragonite for my own Tailwind. I don't know if I want to lead Dragonite or Indeedee. Or... I don't know if I want to lead Sneasler and Indeedee or put Dragonite in one of the slots. I actually think I'm going to lead Dragonite with Indeedee. They don't have terrain control, so throwing Indeedee out there right away is okay, I think. And I'll bring Sneasler and Delphox in the back. Annihilate, Whimsicott, okay. Annihilate could be scary for sure, because if they terrestrialize it, I might come to regret hitting it with an Expanding Force. So I think I'm just going to Tailwind and Terra Blast Whimsicott here. Again, Indeedee, male Indeedee is pretty much the best user of pre-Terra Terra Blast. Sylveon as well, of course, because it gets Pixelate, turning it into a Fairy-type attack. But yeah, Terra Blast is a genuinely okay normal-type stab, even before you terrestrialize your Indeedee. Okay, they just use Final Gambit. They deny my Tailwind while getting theirs. That is pretty rough, but I get Sneasler here against Dondozo. I think they switch Tatsugiri in here, so I'm not going to try to take the KO on Whimsicott. I'm just going to Dire Claw the Dondozo and go for Expanding Force. Yep, there's the Tatsugiri. Sleep would be good. Poison would be good. Any status would be okay. No status. Sneasler's knocked out. What's Sneasler's Terra type? Dark. Okay. I don't think my Terra there would have been all that valuable. I don't think I have a useful Terra in this position. I think I just throw off Expanding Force and hope for the best. Or do I... I don't have room to Trick Room. Never mind. My dose is faster because they have Tailwind up. Even then, though, I had to get through 2 more turns. That was a couple of quick losses. I'll play at least one more game. Blood Moon Ursaluna, Tyranitar, Rillaboom, Magmar, Primarina, and Salamence. I just want a Psy Spam, but they have Tyranitar and they have Terrain Guy. I guess the 2 fighting types on this team are supposed to help with Tyranitar. Tyranitar usually terrestrializes anyway, but then it's not immune to Psychic anymore. So, with that in mind, do I just go Sneasler, Annihilate, Indeedee, Delphox? I could do Sneasler. I could lead Mousehold. Mousehold is very threatening into this team. Salamence could have Intimidate. Magmar could have Flame Body. I think the Intimidate is more likely than the Flame Body. A lot of Magmar are probably running Vital Spirit so that Sneasler can't put them to sleep. Sneasler is also super threatening into this team in the lead spot, but Salamence is an issue if it has Intimidate for all of those options. So actually, Defiant Annihilate next to Sneasler or Mousehold might be a good lead here. I actually am going to do Annihilate, Sneasler, and DD Delphox. They lead Rillaboom and Ursaluna. Okay. So Ursaluna is under a lot of pressure already. They can't fake out Annihilate. That in mind, I think I'm just going to throw a Drain Punch into the Rillaboom slot and protect Sneasler. They switch out to Magmar. Or Electric Ursaluna. Okay, I've seen that one now because it won Frankfurt. Calm Mind. And now they have Follow Me on the board. Oh, man. Okay, I think I'm going to switch Sneasler out to Indeedee here. I think I'm going to Final Gambit Magmar. Just get rid of that so I can pressure Ursaluna immediately. Also, if they let me have Terrain Control... Oh, wait, they can bring Rillaboom in. So they... And deny me Terrain Control. Didn't think that one all the way through. Let's go Sneasler here. Yeah, because I can't get the big Expanding Force now. Let's just Protect. Same power. Terra Blast the Ursaluna. They do go for the Fake Out into Sneasler, so Indeedee actually does get to attack. And now I just get my 2 faster attackers in and try to overwhelm the Ursaluna with those. The good thing is that Rillaboom Grassy Glide is not threatening into either of these. Do I have Dire Claw or Close Combat here? Putting it to sleep could be very helpful. I think I just throw off my strongest attacks, right? Now let's Heat Wave. Let's cover for the Rillaboom as well. The Grassy Glide doesn't do too much. Close Combat doesn't do too much either. I think guess Dire Claw would have been better. No KOs. Rillaboom's burned. It actually will be... I don't remember what order things go in. Maybe it'll be a KO. They take out the Sneasler, though, so... Actually, Delphox is threatening... I was going to say threatening 2 KOs this turn, but... Ursaluna might be just out of range. It took 26 last time from Heat Wave, and it's at 28 now, so I'll click Expanding Force for the single target damage. They protect. Do I have to Terra Fighting and Terra Blast Ursaluna now? Is that stronger than Expanding Force? I don't think it is, right? Is Terra Blast still 80 power when you Terrestrialize? I think so. So, alright, Expanding Force doesn't KO. The game didn't end, though. Oh. Well, now it does. They just had to make that one more decision. Alright. I've not been playing this team very well, have I? Those were some rough games. Not quite what I wanted to see from my favorite Kalos starter, but we still have Reg J. I just whipped this up in the lab. It's Choice Scarf Delphox to try to keep up with the heavy hitters in this format, and then Indeedee for Psy Spam. Koraidon also boosts Delphox damage with the Sun because Delphox can run Fire Stab, and it gives me Fighting type coverage for Dark types. Lunala, I don't know, pairs nicely with Koraidon and Indeedee. Flutter Mane, and then I slapped a Whimsicott into the last slot because I thought I might need Tailwind. Basically all there is to be said about that. Well, disappointed at how those Reg H games turned out. Oh well. I get a Mewtwo immediately. Nice. Magearna, Indeedee, Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Mewtwo, Drifblim. This actually looks like a super scary team, even though they have a Mewtwo. The good news is they will not change the terrain on me. There's no Rillaboom this time. I'm going to go with the Scarf Delphox lead immediately. I want to see what it can do here. Then I think I just bring my Restricteds in the back, yeah? Okay, Indeedee and Drifblim. Psychic Seed, Drifblim. Presumably with Unburden. I'm just going to Expanding Force and Helping Hand. I don't see an immediate threat, but Drifblim can do a lot of different things, so who knows? Could have even Terra Psychic there. Maybe I should have. It would have done more damage to Drifblim than this. It might not be Unburdened Drifblim, because it was... Oh, it was slower than... It is his Scarf Delphox, but still, was Drifblim really slower? I'll Terra Psychic here to try to get the KO before they can Baton Pass. They're dark. Okay, never mind. And I keep minimizing. That's so scary. And here's Mewtwo. What's that going to do? I'll switch out to Lunala. Delphox locked into Expanding Force is not of much help here. I also am going to go ahead and set Trick Room. Lunala benefits from that, and they give Mewtwo the special defense and evasiveness boosts. And I don't even have my Terra Fairy available on Lunala because I tried to take out the Drifblim there. They got me good. We land. No, we don't. Never mind. Taunt Indeedee. Okay. Indeedee can now only click Psychic. Baton Pass out to Magearna. So the Trick Room will probably not be beneficial to me after all. Yeah, this team looked scary at preview. Dozo, Geary, the really tricky support Pokemon that is Drifblim. The Mewtwo still took a lot from when I landed the Moongeist Beam. Also, though, Magearna is going to get boosted whenever Mewtwo faints, right? So actually, and Mewtwo's just clicking Taunt. It hasn't attacked so far, so actually I should be focusing on Magearna, not Mewtwo. I should be missing attacks into this. It's also setting up with Calm Mind, but, you know, yeah, this is support Mewtwo. I need to be focusing on Magearna. I can always crit it still. Of course, it's now that much harder to do when it's not so easy to even land the attack in the first place. Yeah, they can taunt Indeedee, but I get this one Helping Hand at least. But there was no point trying to set Trick Room back up. I just need a crit. That's all there is to it. Actually, that's not quite all there is to it, because I have Koraidon in the back. If that lands a hit into Magearna. Unfortunately, I can't Terra Fire, so I probably get one chance here, but if Koraidon lands a hit into Magearna, then... mind. This is the most perfect instance, by the way, I've ever seen of closed team sheets being kind of busted with Terra. Maybe I should have anticipated the Terra Dark Drifblim, but yeah, using my Terra for the KO. I guess it didn't matter. I guess it didn't matter because +3 special attack Mewtwo is still clicking Expanding Force into Koraidon. I don't know that Fire type Koraidon takes that either, but they pretty much won the game on the spot with that Drifblim Terra. I don't know why they're wasting time now. They should just end this. Feels a little bit BM. They're showing off that they have agility on their Magearna too. Alright, that's a new one. I didn't know it got that. Agility Magearna. I might have to look into that one myself. This team is nuts. Got any more surprises? Guess we saw all the Pokemon they brought, so if the Dondozo has some crazy tech, we won't be getting to see that. Anyway, one more Psychic and then Indeedee starts struggling. It was a tiny bit rude that they haven't just knocked it out yet, but I also could have forfeited. But we got to see the agility at least. Magearna really learns agility? If you say so. I can see Magearna learning like shift gear, which it definitely does. Or autotomize. Anyway. Is Totemize still in the games? Zamazenta, Tornadus, Rillaboom, Glamora, Galarian, Moltres, and Shadow Rider Calyrex. Not great for Psy Spam. Wide Guard, Grassy Terrain, Dark type, Psychic type. I'll still bring Delphox though, because it's the Delphox video. I'm not bothering with the terrain shenanigans this game. Try to get this Moltres out of here. Oh. Oh, okay, they protected both. That's a passive turn, but they did scout what I wanted to do. And a fish for a speed boost. The Terra Dragon, okay. So I get the Moonblast into Zamazenta now, not bad. Flame Charge doesn't KO, but figured the speed could be valuable, especially as Moltres goes for Tailwind there. Letterman gets to use its Focus Sash. I'll make another attempt to take out this Moltres. Doesn't work out. Okay, almost KOs, gives it Berserk, but like, you know, my win con at this point is Scarf Delphox. In fact, it's the only Pokemon I have left now. Maybe they don't have Wide Guard. Maybe. Great, that doesn't KO. Alright, one more game, but I'm tilted or something, I think. This laddering session has been rough. But I won't end it too early. I'll get one more. Definitely one of those days where I see the lead position and just don't feel like I know what to do, which I guess happens to the vast majority of players at least once in a while. Ice Rider, Calyrex with Kyogre, Smeargle, Varigoraph, Iron Valiant, and Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. Scary team. They probably have Wide Guard on the Valiant. Could be on the Smeargle, more likely on the Valiant. I can threaten that still with I don't know what. Well, let's try. Let's just do this mode again. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon is a giant threat into Delphox because it has Sturdy and an actual accurate rock type attack. I think it's faster to begin with. Yeah, although not with the Scarf, so that could get them off guard. All right. Well, the good news is they can't fake out or They can't fake out this turn, and I think they probably don't have wide guard on Smeargle when they have Iron Valiant on the team. Do I want a Heat Wave? Do I want to trick the Choice Scarf onto somebody? Do I want a Expanding Force? I don't think you leave Ice Red or Calyrex in this position without Terastallizing. I think I prefer Expanding Force over here instead of Heat Wave. And it looks like I'm mistaken once again. I really didn't think they would let me just click a fire attack into it. Maybe they're running Scarf Smeargle and they expected that Spore to come out first. That's possible. Oh no, it's Sash Smeargle. We know because we saw the Sash. Never mind. Alright, now Delphox is asleep. And locked into not a helpful move. Decorate. Glacial Lance. They really just let me click a fire attack into their Calyrex? Nobody does that on the ladder most of the time. That's why I never entertained that they seriously would. I protected Koraidon there, anticipating the Smeargle to follow me. Let's crunch Calyrex. Sure. I mean, I have been seeing that lately. It's not super obscure. But yeah, that's the video, I think. Goodbye. Alright, let's try not to be too salty, but... not the Delphox showcase I was hoping for, that's for sure. Hopefully Greninja goes somewhat better than this. But this is one of those days where I just feel like I can't do anything right on the ladder, so let's call it here. And, yeah, Greninja next time. Probably the one that's had the least presence in Reg H, although I did see a couple of Greninja teams in the recent results, so I'll take a look at those. I also have one pretty clear idea of how to use it that might be worth checking out, so hey, we'll see next time. But that was Delphox.